When you think of Japan, what comes to mind? Gleaming skyscrapers, bullet trains, maybe some samurai? And yeah, that's definitely part of the picture. But it's not the whole story. Not even close. We're going to go way beyond the stereotypes to uncover the weird, the wonderful, and the truly surprising truths that make Japan one of the most fascinating places on the planet. So, what's on the menu today? First, we'll get into the very land itself, a place of some wild contradictions. From there, we're diving headfirst into the high-tech, high-stress, and sometimes just plain bizarre world of Tokyo. Then, we'll meet some of the country's most famous four-legged residents. And finally, we'll see how ancient traditions are getting a very modern twist. Okay, so to really get Japan, you gotta start with the land it's built on. And let me tell you, it's a place that is just full of some pretty stunning contradictions. For starters, Japan is way, way bigger than you probably imagine. Get this, a brand new recount in 2023, using all this fancy digital mapping tech, found that the country has over 14,000 islands. That's more than double the old number. Crazy, right? But here's where it gets really interesting. With all that land, you'd think people would be spread out, right? Nope. People only live on about 430 of those islands. The vast majority are completely empty, which leads us to our first huge contradiction about how people actually live in Japan. See, about 73% of the entire country is covered in mountains. So what does that mean? It means the entire population is squeezed into these narrow coastal plains. The result is a population density that's almost 9 times that of the United States. It's one of the most crowded places on Earth, for sure. Now, when you live on the coast like that, fishing becomes absolutely crucial, right? It's a cornerstone of the economy and the culture. But look at this chart. The industry is facing a massive problem. You've got way more seniors working in the fishing industry than young people. It really makes you wonder about the future of this vital way of life. And yet, in the middle of this countrywide population shrink, there's this one little island that's bucking the trend. Tokunoshima is actually having a baby boom. Its fertility rate is a whopping 40% higher than the national average. So what's their secret? Well, it seems to be a simpler, less stressful way of life, one that's just better for raising a family. So all that crowding on the coasts has created one of the most incredible, futuristic, and frankly bizarre cities on the planet, Tokyo. Let's jump into that urban jungle and see what surprises are waiting for us. Okay, we have to talk about the bathrooms, because Japan takes its toilets very, very seriously. And in Tokyo, you'll find public toilets with features so advanced, they feel like they're straight out of a sci-fi movie. You just step into a stall and you're greeted with this whole control panel. We're talking heated seats, built-in bidets with water jets, music to give you some privacy. Even the trash can opens on its own. It's not just a toilet, it's practically a throne. You know, in a city that never stops like Tokyo, sleep is a luxury. And that's why the Japanese have perfected this art called inemori, which basically means sleeping on the job. Seriously, as long as you look like you're still at your desk and being attentive, it's totally cool to catch a quick nap. All right, looking for some family-friendly fun? How about the Unko Museum? It's this super colorful, interactive museum dedicated entirely to, you guessed it, poop. Yep, they've got a crappy arcade and a room full of flying poop sculptures. It's weird, it's wonderful, and you'll definitely never forget it. Now, if you want something a little more traditional for entertainment, you have to check out the Samurai Restaurant. This isn't just dinner, it's a full-on high-tech cabaret show. You've got samurai, massive taiko drums, lasers, and robots, all in this dazzling explosion of sound and light that some people say is literally a life-changing experience. And in a city that's all about convenience, it should come as no surprise that there is one vending machine for every 31 people. And you can get anything. A hot bowl of ramen, a fresh pair of socks, all without ever having to talk to another human being. But Tokyo is just one part of the story. Let's step away from all that urban chaos for a minute, leave the concrete jungle behind, and meet some of Japan's most beloved animal residents. You've heard of cat cafes, right? Well, Japan takes it to a whole other level. They have entire islands dedicated to cats. On Tashirojima, the cats outnumber the humans 2-to-1. The island even has a cat shrine and little cat-shaped houses for tourists. It's basically heaven for cat lovers. Or, hey, maybe bunnies are more your speed. Then you gotta go to Okunoshima, where you'll be greeted by over 1,000 super friendly rabbits. They will literally swarm you for treats, so you better come prepared. But maybe the most charming of all are the bowing deer of Nara. These aren't just any deer. They're wild, over 1,000 of them roaming a park, and they've actually learned to bow to people to ask for special crackers. It's this incredible, polite interaction that is just so uniquely Japanese. All right, for our final chapter, let's look at how Japan's ancient traditions don't just exist alongside modern life, but actually crash into it and mix together to create something totally new and fascinating. Have you ever just wanted to shout at someone? Well, there's a festival for that. It's called the Akutai Matsuri, or the Cursing Festival, and that's literally what you're supposed to do. Onlookers hurl insults at priests dressed as spirits to try and steal their offerings and get good luck for the year. Only in Japan, right? In the tiny, remote village of Nagoro, the population has shrunk to just 30 people. So to fight the loneliness, a local artist has created over 200 life-sized scarecrows to repopulate the town. These silent residents now sit in classrooms, wait at bus stops, and work in the fields, a really poignant tribute to the community that once was. And this brings us to maybe the perfect example of how Japan blends tradition, bureaucracy, and just pure pop culture fun. Get ready for this one. Godzilla is an official citizen of Japan. No, I'm not kidding. The giant, city-destroying lizard was granted special residency back in 2015. He even has an official legal address in Tokyo's Shinjuku district and serves as the city's official tourism ambassador. Just, try not to get on his bad side. From high-tech toilets to bowing deer, citizen monsters to scarecrow villages, Japan is a country that just constantly defies expectations. It's a place where the ancient and the futuristic, the natural and the artificial, the serious and the silly all coexist in this beautiful, chaotic harmony. And it really makes you wonder, what other surprises does this incredible country have in store?